upper school orchestra department is comprised of the symphony orchestra, honors chamber orchestra, and also instrumental lessons, including guitar. There are a lot of different levels of players here, so we have a lot of opportunities for everyone. For example, we have end of semester performances for all the students, and also smaller performances for events like Grandparents' Day. And for more advanced players, there is an opportunity to audition for the Eastern Regional Orchestra, and if you're selected for that, there's also a possibility that you can go to All-State or even All-Nationals.
One of my favorite moments was doing the orchestra trip where we went to Virginia and we competed one day, and the next day we went with all the other schools to Busch Gardens and spent the day there, ending in an award ceremony, and we actually ended up winning in that contest.
In upper school orchestra, you get the freedom to choose which pieces you play in chamber groups, and you can also suggest specific orchestra pieces if there are any you'd like to play. For time commitment, like in middle school, we don't have classes every single day. With this year's schedule, both symphony and honors orchestra have 2 40-minute classes each week. And we also practice outside of class to improve our music skills and to work on the orchestra music. It can range from like 15 minutes to an hour a day, but it's up to you how much time you spend practicing.
One of the big differences between middle school and upper school chorus is in the regular school week there are actually less chorus blocks. That being said, there are plenty more outside of school opportunities for advanced level chorus such as honors chorus, governor school, and all-state, and pretty much anything on the East Coast there are plenty of chorus opportunities for you.
And so chorus in the upper school really prepares you for these particular ensembles like honors chorus, gov school, all-state. We help you with your sight reading, and we also help you with picking out your repertoire. Those are critical elements of your audition, but they'll also come in handy should you be selected into these ensembles, which several CA singers have in the past. So your CA singers experience is really what you make of it. The teachers are available outside of school to help you hone your vocal skills and other sorts of techniques that you might need. But at the same time, you could just be a part of CA singers for the ensemble and the group and the good vibes.
So my favorite part of the choral experience is actually the bonding that we do outside of class. So because we only meet twice a week, it's really important to form a relationship with the singers outside of class. So we do things like movie nights, and one time we went roller skating, because an important part of singing well together is actually being able to rely on each other. And I think that we try to spend a lot of time really developing those bonds and friendships. And because of that, chorus actually ends up being really, really close-knit group and very much like a family, which is honestly one of the best parts of staying in chorus, is that you end up with a lot of friends that you can really rely on and trust, even outside of the chorus room.
Somehow I'm not quite so meek.
Theater classes in the upper school are a lot of fun because they're more individually focused and they're really active classes. In the middle school, we spend a lot of time on how the ensemble works together, but in the upper school, it's more how you fit into the ensemble. So we spend a lot of time doing active exercises in class. There's not really any homework outside of class except for a few small assignments, but the time commitment outside of class is going to be very small. Some of my favorite parts of theater class are we do a warm-up every class, and it only meets once a week, so it's not a super huge time commitment. But I think warming up your instrument is a very good way to get prepared for the class. We also do the tennis ball activity, so if you've taken theater in middle school, that's a really fun part of the class, where you basically throw tennis balls in a circle. But having that time to work on your acting skills and bond with Mr. Matthews is very fun. I took speech and debate all through high school with theater, so it's a class that you can really morph into whatever you want it to be without having to sacrifice your other interests.
So the upper school arts program is a bit different from the middle school arts program in that in middle school you have one class, you have so many different types of art that you try out, whereas in upper school you have one kind of art that you do and you take a whole course on that, so you can go a bit deeper. The upper school arts program also has a lot of flexibility, so I was actually able to do an independent study where my teacher at first asked me to do a self-portrait and I was terrified, but we actually helped me do it, and kind of figured out that I like drawing, and I was actually able to create this during the independent study. In another course, though, I went a totally different direction and had the chance to do an embroidery piece, which I never thought that I would do. But the Care Academy's program has really been able to show me a bunch of different types of art, and my favorite thing is that I've been able to push myself to experiment with this stuff that I literally never thought that I would ever do, but I ended up really enjoying.
It's been just a really great class, in my opinion. In general, we get a lot of freedoms, a lot of time to do our own thing. In terms of choreography, in the upper school especially, it's like, just like I said, a lot of freedoms for exploring our own fields of interest, our own techniques that we like to explore. And that's definitely one of the best things about dance in the upper school. In terms of time commitment, it really is just whatever you want it to be. Personally, I can't say that I do a lot of dancing outside of class. That doesn't mean I don't like the class a lot, but in that way, it really just is whatever you want it to be. And also on that same note, you really don't have to have any dance experience. I came in my 6th grade year with no experience. I also just, me and my friend got another friend to join the class this year who also came in with 0 experience. So that's another great thing about the class, which is, we start from just any level. I'd say one of my favorite memories of this class was in 7th grade with me and 3 other boys, which at the time I believe was a record high in the number of boys in the dance class. And we really just bonded a lot over that class, became great friends, and ended up doing a group performance at the end of the year, which I think turned out pretty well. Looking back on it, it probably wasn't very good, but yeah, that's about it.
As you move into the upper school, the wind ensembles branch out into 2 separate groups, concert band and jazz ensemble. Now, you don't have to pick between either of the 2, you can do both. Or if that suits you, you can take jazz band or concert band with another elective in the upper school, like speech and debate. With jazz and concert band, there are lots of ways to showcase your performance and your talent outside of school. For example, we have all-region jazz band auditions every year that's open to the entire ensemble. We have all-district auditions for concert band, just like in the middle school. Jazz and concert band also give you the opportunity to try out new instruments. Because jazz is such a different style, there are lots more opportunities for percussion and rhythm section exploration. And in concert band, there are so many more instruments to choose from, like oboe or tuba, some of which you may not have been exposed to in the middle school.
What I love about the upper school band program is really just how much of a close-knit family we all are. I mean, heck, just last week I was hanging out in the practice room, and I hear a pal of mine we're working on music theory with Mr. Turner, and 10 minutes later, 45 minutes had passed, and I was very, very late to practice. We're just always interacting, running into each other, playing with each other, but it's not all about just the ensemble. It's about really any kind of music we can put on together. It's a vibe.
As you transition to the upper school, we realize that you have to make some decisions in terms of how you want to use your time. But the great thing about upper school arts is that because they take up less blocks in your schedule, not only do you have to devote less time to them, you can also pair them with other electives or try out 2 arts at a time. Also, there are tons of opportunities here in the upper school that you didn't have in the middle school in terms of improving and progressing as an individual musician and not just in ensemble work. Whether it just be recreationally or doing college and conservatory prep, teachers here are readily available to help you even outside the classroom, and will even work with you for independent studies if it's not something you can fit in your schedule. We would love for you to stay in the upper school arts program, not just because of the musical support you're given, but because of the memories and experiences you can make along the way. From performances and to recitals, to just playing with people in the classroom and having others that you can jam out with or explore other instruments with. We hope that you enjoyed this glimpse into the upper school arts, and we hope to see you here next year.